rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one chief rocker, Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. And welcome to the premier Knicks joint. Salute all my people. We back, baby. Adios is in the building. Salute, salute, adios. Salute, salute. Oh, man. Salute everyone. Knicks fans everywhere, man. It's a pleasure to be with y'all. I'm still fixing up this desk here. So y'all bear with me, man. I hadn't had a chance, had the opportunity to kind of put time into the channel stuff like I want to because of work obligations and such. But here we are. Hot grabber in the building. Salute. I'm gonna just move some things around. I know this camera angle looks odd, but bear with me, y'all. I hadn't had the time to do anything, y'all. I hadn't had the time to do anything. And y'all know how much I love y'all and rocking with y'all, man. Y'all know how for me it's a pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here. It don't feel like a job. It feels more like, bear with me for a moment, everybody. I'm just gonna slide this here so that I'll be in the middle. Okay, let me slide this a little bit more. There we are. We toss this, my work-related stuff, over there. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? So this week is gonna be a decent week for us. Just gonna get this. There we are. Okay. So this week is gonna be a decent week for us because I feel like I can put in. I feel like I could put in probably about 15 shows this week. I legit feel like I could put in like 15 shows this week, and I'm gonna try to, right? But not just shows, but just like content. It's like putting in real content. Salute to everyone watching us on X, everyone watching us on YouTube. I'm gonna try to reestablish our Sunday morning sit downs. I don't know what we'll call it. I'm just gonna call it the Knicks Morning Drive for right now, and then unless there's some type of theme, some type of theme that we can go with, we'll do that. Greg Hamilton is in the building. Salute to all the members. Peace to my brethren. YZ, La Wise. Salute. So the Knicks play the Orlando Magic today. The Knicks play the Orlando Magic today at 12. Giants fans everywhere. It's football Sunday. Salute to y'all. I hope y'all do what it is that Giants fans do, Jets fans. I hope y'all do whatever it is that Jets fans do, man. Salute to everybody. No, it's still NFL season. No, it's still the NBA season is just starting. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Salute. Rich Boy is in the building. Salute. Hey, Tori B is in the building. Salute. Salute, Tori B. Salute, y'all. So I just wanted to start off by saying, man, how much I miss y'all, man. I know the past couple of weeks or so have been odd. There have been some travel involved. There's been some weird work hours, like some weird 14, 15-hour work days at one place, and then like 2 hours at another place for me. So I hadn't been here. Just reached out to the family this morning. Just reached out to the family this morning to see how we could still keep this thing going, even if I'm not present, right? Even if I can't make it, right? So I'm just that's one of the things that we're gonna try to work on and be better at in 2026 is how do we still rock even if I'm not present? So we'll see. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that part out. Right now, the part that I need to figure out is what's on y'all mind. Part I'm trying to figure out is how y'all doing. Knicks are 15-7. My Knicks are 15-7. There are a lot of rumors out there. Giannis, some other stuff. OG Anunoby is back. Yeah, I know that's my brother. Wiz is in the building. Salute. Ooh, let's go. Let's go. Adios and salute everybody. Adios. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't even had a chance to be on to check out where you at on IG. I hadn't even had a chance to check y'all out on check out Adios on IG, But hey, support my guy. Yo, everybody's schedule. Well, my schedule has been so off with everybody else. Tori B, I went to when I was doing the Whisper shows, and then remember the shows I was doing the other week where I was like, yeah, man, I really like Deuce, man, blah blah blah. I was in Nashville at the telly at a telly. I generally get Airbnbs, but I mean, I just decided to try this place that had the business suites. You know how they have you have a mini kitchen, a mini living room area, and let me see, a mini living room, a mini kitchen. Y'all know the one I'm talking about. You know how business travels use. So I decided to try that to see and it was nice. It was nice. But anyway, when I was there, and so I was doing the Whisper shows from there, and this is for Tori B. Tori B, I y'all know, for those that be around me, I look like Bummy Jab right now. Like I do the shows. I don't get dressed up to do the shows or nothing, right? Like I don't swag it out for the shows, right? Just like throwing a t-shirt and a hat or something. But yo, David Smith is in the building. Hey, Smitty, we about to have that convo. Get ready. I ain't bashing. I don't expect nobody to bash either. But I gotta have that conversation. Right? I gotta have that conversation. But just bear with me as I get through this though. But yeah, Wiz, I was in Nashville bow tie shopping. Not just for bow ties, because I'm a big guy. I got big shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Big swole guy, you know what I'm saying? So I was in Nashville looking for like dress shirts and slacks and stuff. Looking for the cable knit. I was looking for the cable knit sweaters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, yeah. Pugilist fans in the building. Salute. So, man, hey, so Wiz, man, I almost spent like $600 in Nashville the other day, man. I almost spent $600 on clothes. Well, even though I like to shop, I'm a tightwad. But, bruh, hey. Yeah, man. Turby, I'm a stay that for sure. I'm a stay that, right? But anyways, here we are. Here we are in this moment, right? Right? All right, just got some messages and such. Okay. So here we are, right? Our thing is YZ, yeah, but diggity. Yeah, I got my own thing. So here we are. Right? The Knicks are 15-7. Let me refresh this page over here. The Knicks are 15-7 in second place in the East, second seed, 3 games behind the Detroit Pistons. Right? Have a game with the Orlando Magic today. And we're at the point in the season. We're at the point in the season where, so we're at the point in the season where we could start talking about seeding, right? We could start talking about seeding, where we are in the standings, who's a threat, who's not. By now, all of the pretenders are letting themselves be seen, right? Y'all remember the fake pretenders at the beginning of the season? Y'all remember Atlanta? Remember Atlanta Atlanta looked like they can make a run. Surprise! Y'all remember when Chicago looked like they could make a run? Surprise! Right? Y'all remember when Indiana looked like they might be without Halliburton? Surprise! Right? I'm waiting on Detroit and Orlando to remember that they are Detroit. I mean, in Orlando. I'm just waiting for the clock to strike 12 on them also. Right? Hey, y'all remember Cleveland? The Cleveland Cavaliers right now are 14-11. They're 14-11. Right? And I'm mentioning them, everyone. I'm mentioning them as a reminder to us that even though we did not get out to the start that we prefer, it's still a pretty good start. Right? Brandon Williams in the building. Salute. And Brandon says the Cavs have been dealing with injuries, though. right? And Kerry Cox says the son of the legend says the surprise team is Toronto. And you know what? You're absolutely right. I thought the surprise team was going to be Charlotte. Come to find out that Charlotte too was dealing with injuries, right? Indiana's dealing with injuries. Charlotte's dealing with injuries. Milwaukee's dealing with injuries. Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, Orlando. They've all been dealing with injuries. What I will say to this, though, is to that, I will say, so have the Knicks. So have the Knicks. The Knicks have been dealing with injuries too. And everybody's injuries have been different. Like, for one, Mitchell Robinson is dealing with an injury recovery. So even though it's not an injury, it's still an injury, right? Josh Hart started the season with an injury. OG missed a bunch of games due to injury, right? Cat started the season injured. Shamit is still out right now. So there are a lot of things going on. Yeah. Y'all do what Andio says. So Andio says, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Right. And enjoy our time together. Enjoy the experience. So I think the topic du jour, and I'm saying this from I guess from a distance, but not from a distance. The topic du jour has been Giannis. And what did the Knicks do about the Antetokounmpo brothers? Because you're not just going to trade for Giannis, you're going to have to acquire all three of them. Right? Do the Knicks need Giannis? Do the Knicks need Giannis? Right? I'm going to ask y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Sorry about that, y'all. Was talking to the producer behind the scenes. My thing with Giannis is this. Do the Knicks need Giannis? No. If you have the chance to get Giannis, you absolutely have to do it. Do they need Giannis? No. The Knicks don't need Giannis. The Knicks don't need anything. All right. Hold on there, boss. So do the Knicks need Giannis to win a championship? I don't think they do. What I think the Knicks need is time. That's all I think the Knicks need. That's all I think the Knicks need. Yo, Tori be in a place to be. Hey, what's good?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good mornings. What's good with you?
I'm good, man. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's
This
been
work
a minute.
schedule. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
listen. You know nobody understands a work schedule more than me. Okay.
right.
Okay. I'm always at work.
Right. Absolutely. So for those that don't know, so I'm in sales. So certain times of the year is like it's my Super Bowl, right? From July through early December is my Super Bowl. Like I legit have to be available all the time because I can't miss out on this bread. Because sales is hit or miss. And you don't want to miss because you're not there. You can't, if you're not present, you definitely can't hit. But if you definitely can miss, right? So I just got to be present. So I've been doing that and then working on getting my agency off the ground, just another agency so that I can make more money. So it's been wild. But on that Giannis note, I think the Knicks so Torby, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna sound like a Knicks homer, right? And if I'm a Knicks homer, I'm just a Knicks homer, right? So here's the thing. I personally believe the Knicks have everything they need to win the NBA championship. That's what I think.
I agree.
Right. That's my thought, right? The thing is, getting all of those things to hit at the same time has been our struggle, right? If we can get this version of Deuce and keep this version of Deuce McBride, we don't need anything else from the outside, right? If we could get this version of Josh and keep this version of Josh, we don't need anything else from the outside, right? All we really need is for Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns to get back into what we are accustomed to from them. We need Jalen Brunson at 50% from the floor, 40% from three, and about 82, 83% from the free throw line. If we get that Jalen Brunson, we're unstoppable. If we get the cat that's also 50% from the floor, 40% from three, and 86, 87-ish from the free throw line, the team is unstoppable if Josh and Deuce play like they're playing right now. Now, here's the thing. Mikal Bridges, to me, is playing the best basketball of his career. Period.
Correct. I feel like him and Deuce have probably been the best Knicks this season.
Right.
Or none.
Right. And if we could get OG incorporated, remember before OG's injury, OG Anunoby looked like the best Knick before he was injured. He was the most consistent Knick offensively and defensively. He looked like the best playmaker offensively and defensively, right? And offensively, it was limited because he's the third, fourth, fifth option in the scoring pecking order at times. But his defense was insatiable, incredible, phenomenal, excellent, amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it though is for all of them guys to hit at the same time, which makes it easier. It makes it easier for your Jordan Clarksons and your Tyler Koleks, right? It makes it easier for those other guys because when it comes to lifting the load, they don't have to lift the load. They're just support. They're role players. So if you ask me, do the Knicks need to go out and get more size? I don't think they need more size if guys are. It's like this, Tori. It's like, how you feel like you really need something really bad, and then you look around and it's because you don't have other stuff. It's like so chat. Chat, this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. It's like your car. You know how you like, man, the light keep coming on this car, man. I gotta take this car to the such and such and such. And this car keep letting me down and blah, blah, blah. But if you have 2 or 3 other cars that are just as good, how much do you really need? Is that issue with your other car that much of an emergency? Nah, because you still got transportation, you still safe, you still got such and such and such things and whatever. But if you only have one car and that one car does this thing, then it's absolutely a must that you get this thing worked on. Right? So the thing with the Knicks is I don't think we're destitute for size, right? I don't think we're destitute for size if we can get the things that size provides you from other places, right? And I'm not talking about Josh Hart rebounding, right? I'm talking about the one night, I think it was that Black Friday we played the Bucks? That was Black Friday we played the Bucks, right?
Yeah, I don't remember 3 days ago. So please, I don't know. I don't know.
So, but the thing is about the reason why I bring that up is because we were talking about rim protection because the Bucks shot like 50% in that game, and we were like, man, the Bucks are killing us. The Bucks are getting, but they were not. The reason why they were not, Tory B, they only took 70 shots in an NBA game. They took 70 shots. That's because the perimeter, the on-ball defense, point of attack defense was so. Now, did Milwaukee hit shots? Yeah, they hit shots. I'm not saying that. But we befuddled them so much that they barely got shots up, period. And you can't score if you don't shoot.
Right.
And so instead of us blocking shots at the rim, right? Instead of blocking shots at the rim, we were stopping them from getting into offense.
Right.
That's still defense. Defense is just not on ball. Defense is taking away everything from a guy, taking away all the other options and forcing them to cycle the ball. Somebody had a question here. I see your question. So so Ed Santana, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to this. I just want to make the statement about the perception of what we need versus the reality of what we need.
I posed this question yesterday to Ron. I was on with them yesterday afternoon, and I asked him. I said, "What do you do if the Knicks are rolling? We haven't had our team healthy all season, right? We started out Mitch and Josh were down, then Deuce went out for some games, then Cap, then OG and Shamit. I said, we got OG back, no Shamit, so we still not completely whole. But what do you do if in the next month or month and a half, these guys could get on a roll and they're playing exactly how you want them to play, right?
Right.
And the opportunity to take away from this team to go get Giannis presents itself. We're not in a position where we're desperate for the shiny toy on the shelf. We don't really need it. And I don't say that to besmirch Giannis because he's top 3 in the league. Like you don't turn your nose up.
Giannis is a top 10 player all time. Right.
Right. But I'm just talking about in the league right now. Like, right now, he's definitely 3 in the if there's only probably 2 players in the league that are better than him right now. But you don't turn your nose up to that. But do you gut your team to get him? Because we know it's a gut. There's no way it's not. He's one of the best players to ever play basketball. They're not going to take a player. They're not going to take your kids. They're not going to take draft picks from 20 years from now. Like you're gutting. You're going to lose your core to get this guy in here. And if you take away the core of this team to bring this guy in, what do you have? You got Giannis, you got Cap. Your bench is gutted. Your wing, one of your wings is gone, maybe both of them. What do you do? Like, do you do that to have the guy so you can start over next season? Because this season is a wash if we do that.
Okay.
So I just don't feel like, and I know it's probably the worst place to be in. I don't feel like we should do it because I
Right.
think it's gonna cost us too much. Not because I don't think Giannis should be a Knick, because I would love to see him in a uniform, but
It's
I
not like
would.
Giannis is not an elite player.
Right, and I don't mean it that way. I mean, but if you bring him in here and it's just him and Cap and no bench and one of your wings, you got him and Dame Lillard in Minnesota. I mean, in Milwaukee all over again. It's not gonna win. Like, yeah, we get the guy, but we don't get the championship. And I'm not saying we're gonna get one now. I just think we have a better chance to get one if we stay whole. That's just where I'm at with it. Like, and I don't know how him and Jalen play together. Like, I just feel like Cat spreads the floor and Giannis kind of clogs it up. Like, I don't know if that's a great fit. Like, I have more questions than I have answers, and I don't know if I see it working like everybody else sees it working. Again, Giannis is Giannis. He want 30 a game and 15 rebounds, great. But that's
And
where it
an
ends.
elite crunch time defense. He's an
Right,
elite
right. And
end
I
of
right.
game clutch time defender.
I don't I
Maybe the
don't
best ever.
right. I don't turn my nose up to those things, but we actually have a whole team. We don't just have a good player. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, I don't know if I want to break this team up to get the guy. Like, I don't know. I know it sounds weird. I know you get you get to a place where you feel like sometimes maybe you like the players more than you like the idea of getting a better player. But I just feel like this team has enough to get it done. And I don't think we need to break that up just
Right.
because the shiny toy is available.
So to your point, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna just talk some basketball stuff, right?
Hmm.
And I know how to chat, like, oh, here go Uncle Freezy talking about basketball. I know. And it's supposed to be Knicks, but I gotta throw the basketball element in. If we trade for Giannis, Giannis gets here, he's gonna have to play center. Period. Right? Giannis is not a center. Right? He's not a center. He's a weak side defender. He's an athletic, jumbo, dynamic wing player. That's probably the biggest wing player that we've ever seen. Right? Giannis is the biggest elite wing player we've ever seen in the NBA, period. Right? Jalen Brunson is a pick and roll point guard. He's not an off-ball scorer. And for those that y'all that and listen to me before we doubt, right? Look at Jalen Brunson's numbers now that he is asked to be more off-ball. Look at his shooting percentages now that he's asked to play more off-ball. And I'm just going to ask you to hold that thought, right there, right? So if you get a true nature Jalen Brunson, pick and roll, point guard, elite dynamic scorer with Giannis, right? With Giannis, who's an elite all-time great wing scorer, right? Giannis takes the things that Grant Hill used to do back in the 90s and puts it at an elite level. Giannis is what Grant Hill would have been if he had taken the super soldier serum, right? That's what Giannis is, right? He's a jumbo, dynamic, stronger version. Like Grant Hill is Steve Rogers, Giannis is Captain America, basically. And then if you take that, if you take that and then force Giannis to be the pick and roll man, right? Now you take all of that away, force Giannis to be the pick and roll man. Giannis, come up here, set this pick. Giannis, roll to the rim, right? Giannis, I may pass you the ball off the roll, I may not. You take away all his superpowers, right? Because you put him in a role. Now, here's the thing, because I know people are going to say, nah, Giannis doesn't have to play center. Well, what if you keep Mitch and Mitch is the center, right? Mitch is the center, right? For those pick and rolls, Mitch and another guy, because Cat will go in the trade, right? But say you get Mitch and what's the guy from Atlanta? The guy from Atlanta that used to be the center for Trae Young. Say you get Mitch and Clint Capella. Say Mitch and Clint Capella are your centers now, right? When teams track the pick and roll, do you really trust Giannis Antetokounmpo to knock down 3-pointers consistently?
Absolutely not.
Right. Now, here's the thing, right? Now, because here's the second part of that. If Giannis is not going to say Giannis is the slasher, right? Say Giannis is the cutter slasher off of that, right? It's not going to work because Mitchell Robinson is not a spread the floor, 3-point shooter, ball handler, passer. So now whether it's Mitch or Clint Capella at center and Giannis attacks the rim, Giannis legitimately is driving the paint into a stacked paint against whatever defense, right? Teams would legitimately let Jalen Brunson score 50, and now Giannis, as a Knick, is going to average 18 and 12 rebounds, right? Are you really trading for that version of Giannis? Are you trading for 18 and 12 Giannis? No, you don't want that version. It's not going to fit what you have. It's the reason why any pick and roll point guard with Giannis is not going to work. Right? It's the reason why him and Dame didn't work. Right? No matter what point guard, the only point guard that worked with Giannis that won him a championship is a Drew Holiday type guard that's more of a combo guard that can play all 4 positions on the floor. He can play 1, 2, 3, and 4 offensively and defensively, and let Giannis be the point forward. Right? And so the point to what Tori B was saying is do you disrupt the core that you already have in order to get this as the result? You don't want that as the result because the Knicks have what is the future of NBA basketball. They have a pick and roll point guard that can shoot threes. They have 2 elite wing defenders and scorers, 2 elite two-way players. They have a jack of all trades off the bench or as a starter, depending on which you see Josh as. And then you have an all-time great NBA scorer and rebounder in Karl-Anthony Towns. Right? Karl-Anthony Towns, it gets all of these points on what I'll ask this. When's the last time y'all saw a cat take 20 or 25 shots in a game? It's rare. Like legitimately, Karl-Anthony Towns rarely takes 20 to 25 shots to have those 40, 50-point games. That's not what he does. For the most part, Cat is probably one of the most efficient scoring bigs that we have ever seen. Right? And so when it comes, is that for me? Okay. You want to say hey to everybody?
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Tori B, Miss Mocha said, hey, good morning.
Oh,
you heard her? Okay. All
I
right.
did.
All right. Hold on. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, so she was just making sure. She heard my voice this morning and brought me some coffee, everybody. That's sweet, right? Thank you, Ms. Mocha. All right. So the point that I'm getting at is not that Giannis is a player. What Knicks fans, what we're thinking is, so Tori B, this is my thinking. It's nothing to do with Giannis not being absolutely one of the best players to ever play. Hey, son from Brooklyn is in the building. My thing is this. If you're concerned about the ultimate goal, which is winning the championship in this year or next year, or I'm sorry, 26 or 27, I don't think you do the trade. Right? But if you think that having Giannis opens your window for the next 5 to 6 to 7 years, then I say go ahead and make the Giannis trade. Because the thing about when you get Giannis, everybody wants to play with Giannis, right? Everybody wants to play with Giannis. Now those guys that seem like they were untouchable, now all the Kevin Durant's, the Devin Booker's, the Anthony Edwards, the whoever it is.
Right, but that's what I was saying, Unc. You go for them, right? That means this year you're done. You're not winning the championship.
Right.
You're gonna have to start the rebuild next season.
Right.
So now you're waiting again, and then next season you're worrying about the cap. You're worrying about how you squeeze these guys in. There's a lot of variables to take. And again, you don't turn your nose up to Giannis.
Nah.
But you gotta understand that it's a reset. Like, what do y'all want? I don't know. It's a very hard decision to make. I think it's a hard front office decision to make too, because I think they feel like they don't need them, which is why I think they're playing hardball. Why I think it didn't happen over the summer. They like, yo, this is what we got to give y'all, and if this not what y'all taking, forget it.
Right.
I just don't think that they felt the need to gut this team to bring him in here, because we all know it's a gut. Like, you're not. I would love to have a team that had Giannis Antetokounmpo and Karl Anthony Towns on it. Like, I would love that. But we all know that these things are not happening. Either Cat's going to end up in Milwaukee, or he's going to end up on another team via a 3-team or 4-team trade. Like, we're not going to have all these guys. You're probably going to lose a Douche. You're probably going to lose a OG or Macau and one of the kids.
Or
draft picks. Right. Like, you're going to lose so much to bring this guy in. And it's like, do I want to do that? Do I want to upset everything they spent all this time building just to get the guy to kind of reset for next season? Like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if the Knicks want to do that. I just, it's weird because I want him, right? Because who doesn't? But it's also weird that I want my whole team. I don't want to give the guys up to get them. Like, I don't want to see a Knickerbocker team that doesn't include Josh Hart. I don't want a Knicks team that doesn't include Mikal Bridges or Deuce McBride. Like, I don't want to give these guys up. And I know that they're no Giannis, but I don't want to give up the guys that you watch work so hard to be the players that they are now. You're watching them work so hard to adapt to this system. You know that you could see the progress. You could see that it's starting to work. Like, you could see that they're kind of turning a corner, because we know that they're attempting to buy in, but they haven't completely bought in. And you also know that the team is dealing with injury, so they haven't really been whole. So you don't know what their full potential is, because they don't know what their full potential is. And through all of that, we're the number 2 seed in the East.
Hey, Coach, you got mic feedback, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming. I was trying to fix it on my end, but there's some mics. No, that's Coach.
Oh, okay. Like, and through all of it, we're still the number 2 seed, and like, we're legitimately working through our issues, and we're still number 2. So,
is that better? Sorry.
Yeah, Coach, that's better. You don't. Do you break that up? I don't. Sometimes I think that as Knicks fans, right, we get caught up in the hype of actually having players of Giannis's stature that want to come here. Like, we know he wants to come here, and that hasn't been the case for how long? Never. Like, in my entire adult life, I don't remember a player of his stature ever legitimately wanting to be a Knick. And I think the allure of that for Knick fans overshadows the thing that we actually has. Who has a rooster?
Yeah, you hear that?
I do, outside my window. Damn, I know my mic is that hot, bro.
Yeah, your mic is your mic is
Um,
the goat this morning, bro.
right. Like I'm like, oh snap, wake up. Where's my
Coach,
coffee?
yeah,
Um,
Coach White picking up everything, bro.
so I think that sometimes you get caught up in that. It's like, yeah, okay, now these guys want to come and play for the Knicks, but why do they want to come here? Because we're really good.
Right.
We have winning culture and we actually have a really good team. Like I don't see the need. Giannis is a want, not a need. I'll say that. He's not a need. We don't need him to win.
Right. And so to that, the other part to that is what I was going to say is because I agree. The other part that I was going to mention is if you put Jalen Brunson in the Giannis trade and you keep Cat, right? So now you have the elements for Giannis to thrive, right? Because you have a big man that spreads the floor. You have a big man that can rebound, right? You have a big man that can play at the rim, but Giannis is his weak side rim protection, right? So
Right.
in the league, if there's a perfect fit for Cat defensively, it's Giannis, right? Because anything that Cat falls asleep on or can't get to, or for whatever reason, Giannis comes, swoops in and cleans it up.
Right.
Right. And plus, now you're talking about a guy that could have budget, but it also has the floor imbalanced where all your scoring is coming from the front court.
Right.
You're not getting any backcourt scoring where teams now can pack the paint. And then plus, Giannis nor Cat are high volume scorers. Like Giannis takes a lot of shots, but he's not a shot dominant wing. Giannis takes a lot of shots, but Giannis will pick his spot. Like he'll say, third quarter, I'm going off. And then he'll take over the third quarter and take maybe 11, 12 shots in the third quarter. Everything else is within the flow of the game, right? But the Knicks have a high volume scorer in Jalen Brunson. And that works for us because we have guys that don't create their own shot and are consistently good offensively every night against any opponent that can do that. Jalen Brunson is that. And that's why Jalen Brunson being a high volume shooter for us makes sense. He's the perfect fit for us, and we're the perfect fit for him. But if you put Jalen Brunson in the deal, now you're in that situation Milwaukee is in right now, where you're always searching for guards to play with Giannis. Right? Like, right, I think they brought in Austin Rivers. Was it no, Greg, they brought Cole, they brought in Cole Anthony, bro. And they have Cole Anthony and a light-skinned dude off the street in the backcourt for them right now.
Light-skinned dudes down bad.
They down bad. Ever since Jerry Curls went out, they down bad. But anyway. Anyway. So all right, so that's my thing on because basically what I'm saying is we're not looking to do a lopsided
move, right?
Yeah, we're not looking to do a Yogi Bear picnic basket for Giannis. We're not in that stage no more. This is two teams with talent that are looking to swap talent for guys, but ultimately what's a fit and what's not a fit. And I don't think Giannis is a fit for what the Knicks are doing right now, though I think in a Mike Brown system, Giannis will have 3 MVP seasons back to back, at least. In a wide open floor where you could just let your athletes just run the floor. Giannis is the best at it.
Right.
But what does that mean for Jalen Brunson and Cat, though? So, Coach, what you thinking, Coach?
Here's the thing. Just like Tory B said, when you have a generational talent and MVP caliber, it's hard not to kick the tires on the idea.
Right.
However, we haven't seen one of our rosters and rotations and lineups run its course in years. Like we still like this is the first year technically we've truly run it back. Like even the Randall years, there was always somebody else, a couple other guys in the starting lineup and all that stuff. like different than the year before. Like we was always like tinkering, you know. This is the first year we were able to run it back, like with most of the core guys. And I would hate to disrupt the potential chemistry and building up of that, you know, because I think it's starting to not too low now.
I got it. I got it.
All right. My stuff went down to 20 for some reason.
I got it.
My bad.
The Rooster was trying to steal the show, bro. I was like, man, let Coach.
I had to put on noise cancellation background.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't checked for some reason. So I don't think just like Tori, I can just repeat, but if something's right and I agree with it, I got to somewhat repeat it. Like,
or give her props.
Yeah, I'm giving her props. It's not a need. It's like we don't like. It's rare for the Kawhi thing to happen, like what Toronto did.
Right.
Like that don't happen. Like they got him. It's kind of a sweet deal.
Right.
You know, DeMar and Jacob Podol and some picks.
I don't trust nothing
and
that
one
happened
pick.
in that
They only
deal.
got one pick.
I feel like it was all under the table money moving around over there. It was all wrong.
Like that's the equivalent for us of like, but I agree that the lore of having Giannis would be also having Brunson and Cat. That's the perfect combination.
That doesn't have all three of them.
Like the Cats that big that can shoot that Giannis needs. That's great. That's great to have next to. And Brunson's that point guard that can, like, Giannis hasn't had that luxury. Like he never had it with Dame because he was never healthy.
Right.
Like he hadn't had that luxury to play with a point guard that was really like Brunson. So we can't speak on if that would work for him. Because he's always had to take over everything because he's been the only one. You know, not Drew Holiday he was great, obviously, during their championship.
But Drew could do everything. Drew was even at that time, Drew was even just as good as a defender as Giannis too.
Right.
You remember how good Drew Holiday used to be defensively?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, but to me, I just think there's too much. It's on the coach at this point to maximize that. It's always been on his coaches.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to point to Cat or point to him, point to that. Same thing, you know, they point to Brunson. Look how Brunson, except for some moments here and there, there's a little going back to him dribbling a little bit. But there's been a different coaching philosophy, and Brunson's been getting his in different ways now. He's not getting it the way he was before.
Right.
So that's what Mike Brown has to do for Cat. You know, find a way to maximize him, because I don't think any coach that's coached Cat has used him properly. Like Cat hasn't had the weapons around him like he has right now. Like Ann Edwards was young when he first got there with him.
Yeah.
Still, like he was just ascending to a little something. But Cat hasn't had all these weapons around him before either.
Right.
And Cat is too. He looks for other people. He's not selfish.
He's a really good passer, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, he has great floor vision. Absolutely.
And because we have 4 other guys in our lineup that aren't looking to shoot first, or they don't have that need for the ball. That just it turns into good basketball when it's done right. And
Coach, let me add. I
when
just
you
want to add one thing.
throw Giannis. Oh, sorry.
Let me add one thing to your point. I'm not don't want to interrupt, but just want to add the fact that since a very slow 2 and 3 start the season, since then the Knicks are 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
Tori B, you feel me? You see what I'm saying?
I said,
out of the blocks with a new coach.
I think we turned the corner.
13-4 in the last 17 games.
Right. I think we're turning the corner. I feel like basketball is just as much about chemistry as it is about talent, as it is about, being comfortable in your system and in your role on that team. And I just feel like these guys are finally starting to get to that point where you see that they're comfortable with each other. You see that they're starting to be a lot more comfortable in the system. I feel like they're gelling and overcoming it through injury and through having to learn. And they actually are starting to look really good. And I'm like, do you really want to tinker with that? Like, I don't know. Again, if you are outside of right, we're all tuned in as Knicks fans, right? If a Orlando Magic fan tuned into this chat, they'd be like, "Are they out their minds? You go get Giannis at all costs." But for most of us who have been fans since the '90s or '80s, if you're old enough, you see a team that's better than any team you've seen ever as a Knicks fan. And you just don't want to break it up. And that's where I'm at. I think this is the best team I've ever seen as a Knicks fan. And I don't want to break the team up. So I don't know if that's just me being a super fan or me trying to be rational and not wanting to go get, like I said, because I had this conversation yesterday. I don't know if I want to go get the shiny toy off the shelf just because it's the shiniest toy on the shelf.
Maybe you're a fraidy cat.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am, because you get to that point. Like maybe I'm at a point where it's like, no, it's good. Please don't touch it.
Right.
Just leave it alone.
Don't disturb this groove. You remember?
Right, exactly. And I've been singing that in my head the whole time. I'm singing that in my head, right? Like you just don't want to. I think I just want to see how it plays out. Like I personally, the basketball fan in me personally believes, and in my heart of hearts, and I'm trying to separate the Knicks fan from the rational basketball fan. The basketball fan in me understands that we have deficiencies, right? Our defense is not great, and I don't think it will ever be great. But I also think our best defense is our offense. We can light it up on just about anybody. And when we're scoring, we're really hard to stop. And when we're putting up 100, and I know it was the Utah Jazz, so I don't like to use them as a benchmark because they played horribly. It looked like they were just walking back and forth watching us. Like, wow, look, what can these guys do the next time down the court? But if you can put up 146 points in a basketball game in the modern NBA, it's going to be really hard for you to lose. So it doesn't matter what you're doing on the defensive end because you keep scoring.
I need to snatch this point away from Tori B. Right? Y'all know how much I respect Tori B. Right? Because she will put you in your place. Y'all better know that, right? Tori B. I disagree, and I want to get Coach get Coach opinion.
You disagree with what?
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I disagree with the fact that the Utah Jazz laid down.
Oh, right? You don't think so?
No.
Don't get me. Don't get me.
No.
I don't think that they. Go ahead.
Just hit me out on it, because because it's a slight disagreement, right? I'm not trying to start no fight, right? I think the Knicks, when things click, are that good and intimidating, right? Like, y'all remember the year the Celtics won the championship, and remember how they used to barrage you with offense to the point where teams would just like intimidate. Teams were just like, oh. I think that's what the
Yes, they
Knicks
did that to us game 1 last year.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, I legitimately think the Knicks, this version of the Knicks, legitimately intimidates teams. So when Josh is hitting threes and you have to let him shoot, when Deuce is hitting threes and you have to let Deuce take threes because you don't want to leave Cat or Brunson, it's an intimidating experience for you. It's
Absolutely.
it's like, yo, if Josh Hart and Deuce are out here shooting threes, and I can't leave Cat wide open at the top of the key, and we can't not double team Jalen Brunson. I have to look. We've chosen our poison, and we have to live with it. Like, you know how they say pick your poison or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, when teams like the Utah Jazz come out and they're like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let their role players beat us. And then the role players come out on fire. Now what's the plan? Right? Because the plan before they played Brooklyn and the Knicks back-to-back, they were like, hey, okay, so we're gonna try to go out here and knock off Brooklyn. But with the Knicks, we're just gonna try to shut down Cat and Brunson, and we'll just live with the result. Well, that was their plan, and their plan backfired because our role players at times show the potential to be an elite role-playing group. They show the potential to be that. Now, do you get that every night? No. Do we know, Coach? We know that Deuce can shoot when Josh is not thinking, just reacting. He's a very good NBA player.
Yeah.
Right. When you get those guys doing everything and shooting, like, you can't leave Cat wide open, because if you let them get hot and then let Cat get hot and then let Brunson get hot, man, what we talking about, man? Get the ass off. That's all I'm saying, Trey. I don't think the Jazz.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jazz came out there and just was we tired, whatever.
Right? No, I don't. I has to lead with the premise that it's the Utah Jazz because they have probably one of the worst records in basketball. Right? They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. So what I mean is that it looked. That's how well the offense was clicking. That it looked like they were standing there going, and what are they going to do the next time down the court? Like, I don't mean that they weren't trying to play defense. I mean that it looked like they weren't trying to play defense because the offense was clicking so well for us.
Right.
That's what I meant. I don't, they're NBA team. Like, at the end
No,
of the day, they're
I
basketball
hear
players.
you.
Yeah.
I hear you, because I heard Ron say it yesterday. I was going to jump on with him too, but I didn't want to, because I was watching what Ron was saying, but I don't, because here's the thing. Last year, not only would that Utah Jazz team been competitive with us, they may have beaten us last year.
But that's the thing with us too, right? Like, last year, we were struggling to beat teams like that. Like the sub 500 teams, like, we weren't running away with basketball games. We were just barely beating these guys, and it looked like a struggle a lot of nights. So at least I can say this season, the teams we're supposed to be beating up on, we're beating the crap out of.
Right. What you think about that, Coach? You've been mighty quiet. What's going on, bro?
Y'all are talking. I'm just trying not to interrupt.
Yeah.
You
got a new tattoo, bro? You trying to show off?
No, I've had this, bro.
Oh, okay.
This ain't the first time I wore this shirt. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have any complaints. I've been saying this for a minute. I can't stand that excuse when people talk about Oh, we ain't played nobody. It's against this team. It's against that team.
Right.
Like I said before, we don't know what any of these teams are yet. It's still all the other teams are trying to figure out who the hell they are too. Except the teams that have been running it back, like the OKCs of the world and whatnot. Like the East is, yeah, sure, Detroit's starting off good, but after that, everyone's been up and down and all around. You know,
Okay.
all I know is you play who you play, and at this point, yeah, we haven't gone on a West road trip yet, but we've been doing pretty good against them guys. You know, for the last couple of years, we did good last year in our West trip. Beat the brakes off Denver.
Okay.
Like we did a few. Like the moment ain't too big for this team. I think one thing this team has a problem with sometimes, for the good or the bad, is we play to the level of our competition.
Right.
So just playing our game, period. Let them try to play to our level.
Right.
And that's an imposing your will thing. And when you're 100% comfortable and confident in what you're doing wholeheartedly with the offense, you can 100% trust the guy next to you. And that's when all those things start coming to fruition. And that's what I feel like's starting to happen. Regardless if we're at home, or I think people are putting too much weight on the home and away record, who we're playing and not playing. This is all coinciding on a timeline. It just so happens to be home where we're getting going right now. You know, and usually even the best teams, except OKC this year, apparently, like have letdowns.
Okay.
I mean, can't win every game. I just think that everyone gets so excited about the makeup of other teams and how what everyone else is doing. I don't give a crap what's on the other team. I know this is coach talk, but if the New York Knicks just do what they can do, it don't matter what the other team can do. That's how good we are.
Okay.
We are. We keep saying we're not a defensive team, but we're fifth in the league in points against.
Who keeps saying that? Is that a national thing or?
It's a holdover.
I think that's a us thing. I think we all say it because they not as I think that's a talking point because that's a Knicks thing. Oh, they don't play good defense.
Right.
I just think
that's a
that
talking point.
you know we've been turning out. That's been the biggest complaint.
Yeah, we give up a lot of 3-point shots.
A lot of
and
people.
I think that's about design sometimes.
Yeah. But I'm happy with the way the defense is looking. I'm happy with the way the offense is looking. I'm excited that OG's back.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited when Mitch plays. I'm excited that Deuce is making shots and doing things. I'm excited when Clarkson actually shows up on the bench. I'm excited when Kolek gives us good minutes.
Hey, let me add something to your point. The point that you made about the defense. You just let me add this thing. So to the point about the defense is played in a multitude of different styles. Like it's the reason why when countries go to war, every country fights a war differently, right? Whether it's in the bushes, whether it's from a distance with missiles or whatever, whether it's in the air with airplanes, whether it's a bunch of dudes on the ground or some combination of whatever, right? The Knicks are choosing to stop you from getting into your offense. This is the thing that Tom Thibodeau wanted to do last year, but couldn't, right? Tom Thibodeau wanted to stop the team from shooting. So if you make shots, we can out rebound you on your misses. So even if you shoot 50% from the floor and 45% from three, but you only take 70 shots, you still only score 110, right? And the Knicks, if the Knicks are scoring 124 and the team scores 110, that means we're winning comfortably, even if they shoot 50% from the floor and 40% from three. Now, I know defense means it's a make or miss league, right? But what if I say, I understand your make or miss, but what if I tell you that we're not going to allow them the chance to make or miss? Right? Right now, Coach, to your point, the Knicks are third in the NBA and field goals allowed. Right? Right now, the Knicks are giving up 85.6 shots per game. Right? The leader, the leader of this, just as something to measure it by, the Miami Heat are allowing 96 shots a game. The Miami Heat are allowing 96 shots a game, right? The Knicks are allowing 85.6 shots a game. And it has nothing to do with our offensive pace, because the Knicks, conversely, the Knicks are getting up 91.3 shots per game. Right? The Knicks are taking 91.3 shots per game. So there is a difference in there of about 4.5, 5 shots a game. Right? That's the difference. And if you shoot 50%, from the floor, that means there's just a difference of 5 points a game just off of style of play.
Mm-hmm.
Just off style of play alone, just the flow of the game. The Knicks have a 5-point per game difference just off style of play. So I do understand the what we see on the floor. Like, oh my God, how do we have Deuce guarding Kyle Kuzma? I get it, Coach. I get that part, because that part frustrates me too. Right. But at the same time, defenses play differently. Right. And I would also venture to say, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus when I say this, right? I'm not. We still hadn't seen the best version of Mitchell Robinson yet. Like, we ain't even seen the best version of Mitch yet. Once we see the best version of Mitch and a fully healthy team, your defense will look better. But you can't score if you don't shoot. That's all I got, Coach, man. My bad. I didn't mean to hijack your point. You was on a roll. I just wanted to add.
Nah, I mean, it was. I don't even think that there's many points to be made as far as. I mean, we never want to just be content or happy with. We always want something. We always want to be better. We want to be the best. We want to win the chip. We're hungry. So when the Giannis thing gets thrown around, that opportunity, and when you hear, there still might be other tweaks we can do. Yeah, it sounds like something we might need to look into, but I don't want to disrupt because right now there's a snowball building, and it's picking up steam, and I'd hate to, because no matter how good Giannis is, there's going to be an adjustment, and it's like a redo, reset, restart. So So the thing is, I have the same. You know, if any of you watch our playback TV watch-alongs, if we're able to do that, you can see how for every minute live, how critical we are of every play on our team, on every play. We have a short memory on every trip down the court. We'll give someone praise one trip down the court. And we'll tell them when they did something stupid the next trip down the court. You know, that's how we roll. You know, then when we're in these environments, it's not something live that's happening. So we have one talking point. Right now, we're talking about the possibility where we're at, what we're going to do. Is it worth looking into Giannis or not? So you look at the pros and cons of all of that. And to me, if it's going to gut the whole team, it's not worth it. And to me, in my personal opinion, Brunson and Cat are untouchable.
Okay.
I mean, and I know you can't get something for nothing, but I don't want to get rid of McHale and OG either.
Okay.
You know, but I don't want to get rid of anybody.
Right.
But an upgrade's an upgrade. Like, it's only an upgrade if the product on the court produces more than what those other guys would do, and there's no telling.
Right.
And once you make that choice and it doesn't happen, and you made a mistake. You know, so, but I know you got to make a tough decision. If you can't win the lotto unless you play. You know, you can't complain you're not winning the lotto if you don't.
Hey, New York State Lotto, you can't win it if you're not in it.
You gotta play it, bro.
Right, right.
I mean,
you can't win it if you're not in it, man.
Yeah. I just think if we were in a situation where we exhausted all of our options with this team, like, man, we tried to give it to Cat at the top of the key and let him distribute. You know, we haven't had a starting lineup in back-to-back games in a while. Same starting lineup.
Hey, Coach, can I ask you a basketball question?
Yeah.
So, the thing is, so my question starts here. When you take Cat off the three-point line and put him in, say, split actions, who's gonna be, what big is gonna pick up the three-point shooting that you just took away from Cat? All right. So secondly,
none.
Okay. So you take Cat off the three-point line to have him become more of a passer. What large athletic wing is going to be able to catch passes in traffic and finish at the rim? Josh, Deuce, Shamet, Clarkson. Which one of those jumbo wings? Oh, okay.
McHale.
Okay. The reason why I asked about those other guys specifically is because if those guys are like, so we know McHale's not going to do it because McHale's a perimeter player. Like, he's not now. Listen, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to you. I pointed out to Coach maybe 5 games ago, that we have not seen Mikal Bridges miss a layup since. We didn't see Mikal Bridges miss a layup since Dubai, right? The one way Mikal Bridges missed a layup and almost had a meltdown tantrum in Dubai the first game we saw him. That dude had a meltdown and hadn't missed a layup since, right? But the thing is, like, in terms of what we're asking other guys to do, Like, how does that affect the other guys on the roster? For instance, when Brunson plays off ball,
Yeah.
who is going to be playing on ball?
Well, it depends who's in the game.
Yeah, you see how the questions, like, Tori B, you see how it's like the fitted sheet, like when you put the fitted sheet on one side
And
and
it
the
comes
other
on
side.
the other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you
But
got an
see,
attitude for the next 15 minutes. Yeah.
But see, you got to put that internal. You got to look at that internal clock though. Like,
Bad as hell.
a lot of us in the past have seen, we think of this methodical, slow process that happens. I'm talking about it's a 1 or 2 second decision when the cat catches the ball at the top. If he's open, he shoots it. If someone rides out to him, he drives past them. And if he doesn't do one of those 2 things, he dishes it to somebody else. It's that quick.
But who are those somebody? Just, and I'm not being cynical, right? I'm just asking so that I can follow along. Like,
we've seen the cutters. Sometimes Josh is cutting to the basket. Sometimes Mikhail's cutting to the basket. Sometimes it's been Brunson. I mean, who's better than Brunson in the paint when he gets the ball on the move?
I'm gonna say everybody, but I do understand your point.
Yeah. So, like,
because Brunson knows how to cut. He has great hands. Like, you rarely see Jalen Brunson bobble passes. As a matter of fact, since Brunson's been here, I probably have only seen him bobble 1 or 2 accurate on-target passes the entire time he's been here. Right?
If you're counting Josh Hart as one of them, the only starters on our team that don't bobble passes when they get thrown to them are Cat and Brunson.
Okay.
OG's not a clean catcher all the time. Mikhail's not always a clean catcher. Neither is Josh. Neither is Mitch. Like, a lot of those guys bobble it, or when they get a pass. I rarely see Brunson and Cat when they get a pass, like, have to gather it for a second.
Right.
But that's something we have. It's not how soon we forget, but OG's back in town, baby. So that puts us up a whole nother notch on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Because it shifts everybody to another level of comfort.
Right.
On both sides of the ball. Because who's covering the toughest, assignment most of the time? It's OG. Mikhail's been holding the fort this year. It's been great. But OG's normally the one that's covering that 6'5" and over best player. And Mikhail usually gets the best perimeter guy.
Okay.
We see what OG can do when he's playing well offensively.
Hey, it's gonna take OG some time to get back in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I obviously want to beat the brakes off Orlando here next hour and a half.
I hope so.
But I'm not basing our whole damn success of our early season on it either.
Right. Just like we couldn't beat Boston last year, right? And then we beat the brakes off them in the playoffs. So, like, I do think I feel like today's game is a measurement stick for us, right? But not a must win. Like, if we win, great. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. But I really want to beat the crap out of them.
You know what I found to be. You know what I find, and this is the funny thing about Knicks fans, right? there is no universe that we exist in where going into a game we think a loss is acceptable, regardless. Because here's the thing: whoever beats us, that's our brand new rival, right? Orlando beat us a couple times, and then we're like, I hate Orlando, right? And you like, hey man, just relax.
And remember, we had a hard time against Orlando even when they were bad.
Yeah.
For
Y'all
some reason.
remember when Indiana beat us a couple times in the regular season? They're like, I hate Indiana, right? Yeah. Anybody remember when Philly beat us? Kelly Oubre went off, and I think they beat us like 84-79 or something crazy like that one Sunday afternoon or something. And all of a sudden, we were rekindling the Dr. J Moses Malone rivalry. I hate Philly.
All right.
Right. And so in my mind, I know quality NBA teams are gonna lose. Right? Quality NBA teams are gonna lose. This you play 82 times, more than likely you're gonna lose 20 of them. And 15 of them are gonna be to teams that are as good as you or better. And then there'll be about 5 or 6 that are gonna be some sucker snuck you from like you'll lose to Charlotte on Friday Night Knicks on MSG. Like you'll lose to Charlotte in one of them things, and you're like, I hate Charlotte. The fact of the matter is quality teams are gonna lose about 20 games every year, and some of them about probably about 25% of them of those losses are gonna be to some sucker duck team out of nowhere off the radar. Right, it's you're gonna lose to a Portland Trailblazers in the 5th game of a 5-game road trip. You know what I'm saying? And you know Mitch ain't playing because it's like you're gonna take schedule and unexpected losses, right? And this happens to everybody. This happens to everybody, right? Like it's not a Knicks only thing. This is an everybody thing. Like OKC is gonna lose some games this year. Don't look like it, right? Doesn't look like it. But the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to lose some games this year, and they're going to lose to somebody. And you're like, how the hell?
I mean, they lost to Portland.
Kings? These things happen. And while I'm not saying losing is acceptable, what I'm saying is when we do lose to in Orlando 2 times in a row, for whatever reason, whether it's one game Mitch is in foul trouble and the other game is OG Anunoby is out due to injury. These things are going to happen. You're just going to take losses. They're not acceptable, but I can accept them after the fact. I can't accept them going into it because we're as Knicks fans. I don't know how competitive the Bronx is. I don't know how competitive Brooklyn is. I know for damn sure Jersey City is super competitive, right? I know Queens is super competitive, right? Like if you from Queens, Hollis, Queensbridge, what else is in Queens? Left, right, hey, wherever you are, right? Yo, you don't want to go into a game thinking that your team doesn't have a chance. That's where we are. And I'm joking with the Bronx and with Brooklyn because they're my darlings, man. I love the Bronx, man. I love Brooklyn. And so I'm joking, trolling a little bit, right? But at the same time, it's like we don't want to go into a game thinking we're gonna lose. But if we lose, we're like, yeah, whatever. That's my stance on it, Coach. Am I wrong for that?
No.
Tori B, you thinking the same thing, or am I on Fantasy Island?
No, you on point.
I do have a question though to ask y'all. Right, and this is different than what everybody else has been talking about. I know we get in the comfort zone and we like enjoy talking about certain topics the majority of the time. I want to talk to y'all about something different. Right, I'm gonna preface it, ask a question, and get out of the way. In my mind, I think Mike Brown is not playing Diawara and Dadier because they're not switchable defenders at the NBA level yet. Right? I don't think
they're not what?
Switchable defenders.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. And so Dadier and Mo Diawara, probably Mo Diawara first, once they become switchable defenders, once they can guard 3s, 4s, and 5s, I think these kids will play. Right? The thing is, with them being young players, as soon as they touch the floor, veteran offensive teams are going to involve them in the actions, because we know the pick and roll is designed to pick out the weakness in the other team's defense, right? So as soon as these guys, like, as soon as they get on the floor, right? As soon as they get on the floor, the other team's primary initiator, right, is gonna say, "Oh, 51 on the floor. We're gonna run the pick and roll to get 51 involved in the action, and we're gonna put his mind in a blender and see where his lapse is on defense." Right? In my mind, I'm thinking once Mike Brown has Dadier and Diawara figure that out, the size thing will no longer be an issue. And here's the reason. Here's the second reason why. Both of those guys are 6'8" and above and athletic, right? So while we don't expect Dadier or Diawara to be Mitchell Robinson, right, we expect them to be OG Anunoby light. Like, we expect them to, for the time being, to be the homeless version of OG Anunoby.
Not the unhoused version of OG.
Right. Shout out to Ty Bobby. Ty Bobby said that shit one time to R&B, man. I laughed for the rest of the day. Like, shout out to Ty Bobby for yo. He said, yeah, he's the homeless version of such and such. But once they become the unhoused versions of OG, and what I mean is switchable defenders that can play the passing lane, that are never out of place on defense, I think you'll start to see the kids. Now, what that does, everybody, in my mind, is if you like Deuce McBride's offense right now, imagine Deuce McBride's offense when he doesn't have to be the primary point of attack defender on every offense or every defensive possession. Imagine what Deuce can do, where he can use some of that exerted energy on offense. And the same thing with Landry Shamet. Imagine what a world looks like where Landry Shamet doesn't have to run through screens, get smashed, all of that stuff, and exert 70% of his energy on defense, and then whatever energy is left, try to spread the floor and put up threes. Now, am I saying that Mike Brown is going to run a 12-man rotation? No. What I'm saying is there is a world where we could see Mo Diawara and Pakam Dadier on the floor at the same time. There is a world where that could exist if these kids defensively can be brought up to speed fast enough where they can be inserted. Because here's the thing. We already know without Mo, we don't need Mo Diawara's offense. We don't need a seventh scorer.
Right. We're not struggling for offense.
Right. We're not struggling offense. We don't need Pakam Dadier's scoring. Right. Would it be nice? Would it be the icing on a very luxury cake? Yes. Right. But we don't need that. What we need right now is size, length, athleticism on defense and in transition. Right. And so my thing is just that when those guys can become switchable to guard 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, right? Mo Diawara guarding 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, and Dadier guarding 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. And I'm not saying that's their assignment. I'm saying when the other team runs their pick and roll or one runs their offensive set to draw mismatches, there'll be a world where you won't see Jordan Clarkson guarding Jaylen Brown.
Right.
There won't be a world where you see Josh Hart guarding Jaylen Brown, right? There'll be a world where you see Pakam Dadier guarding Jaylen Brown, right? Now, will he cook Jaylen Brown? Of course he's going to cook Jaylen Brown. But what that does is, though, it frees Josh Hart up to use energy in other places where he cooks Pakam Dadier at the same rate. But now Josh Hart has the energy to score more, get more rebounds, and play passing lanes and be disruptive grumpy ass Josh. That's the Josh we want. Grumpy Santa. That's what we want from Josh Hart. When Josh is grumpy, he's the best version of himself because he don't think. He just go out there and play in his coach. What do we call? What's Josh Hart's anger title? Beige rage. Josh can go out there and play in his beige rage, right? Right. He can go out there and do that, right? And so my question to you guys is Uncle Freezy on Space Mountain? Is this a wild imagination thing going wrong, or is there some basketball sense to it?
So basically, you saying once they can become real NBA defenders, there'll be a permanent stay in the rotation.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, but wow, it sounds good, right? But do we know if they can become real NBA defenders? How do we get them to that point? And how fast do we get them to that point? That's the real question. Because we know that they can both play defense, right? They're in their raw state now. You see it. You know, you know that they both can hustle, but how quickly can we hone that talent? Because if we can hone it, if we can get it spot on, then we can do exactly what you said. But how quickly can we do that, and how much time are they investing in getting that done? Because if you can see it and I can see it, right? If you can see it and I can see it and coach can see it and we can see it when they get their little spot minutes on the floor, or if they get time in the G League or whatever, if they're playing down there. If you can see it, how fast can the Knicks hone it? We did get a coach, right? That's supposed to be working with the kids. How fast can they hone that talent? Because the things that we need, I feel like we have the homegrown talent. I don't think we need to go out spending $1 zillion or breaking up our team to go out there and find it. I think we have the things that we actually need. I just think that they need time to develop it. And how long does that take?
So here's the thing to that point, Tori, is this. You see the kid in Atlanta, Dyson Daniels?
Yes.
It took him years to get to that point. It took him like 3 years to get to the kid in Portland, Sumani Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
It took him like 3 years to get to the point where he's an elite NBA defender.
Right.
But at the same time, he was getting, spot minutes. They'll get these spot minutes. Herb Jones entered the league at 23, and he became an elite NBA defender in about a year and a half.
And look how behind the 8 ball we are, right? Because Tibbs didn't even look in these kids' direction. So now we're basically at square one with Dadier. We're basically at square one with everybody, because these guys got 0 time ever. Because if we had a 30-point lead, he wouldn't put them in until it was a minute left in the game.
So that's the point too. And I'm just going to swing it to Coach too on this. So Coach, what Tori B is saying is absolutely right. The thing about those minutes that Tori B mentioned, those aren't even high leverage minutes. Right. Those are trash minutes. We just waiting for the clock to run out. These they don't have to make decisions. They don't have to get punished for mistakes, because even if they make a mistake, it don't have an impact on the game. Because if you're up 27 and Dadier gives up a dunk in transition, the lead is still 25.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they hadn't gotten high level. Well, of course, more Diawara didn't, because he's a rookie. But Dadier and those guys, they didn't get high leverage minutes, and that's a real thing. And I'll give you proof of real things, right? RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, Deuce McBride, even Mitchell Robinson to an extent. When they were playing on teams that were losers, right? When they were playing on teams that were losers, you couldn't tell what they really were going to be. But once they got a taste of the playoffs and what they contributed mattered, right? You could see them take the next step of their evolution. Like, they evolved because they went from, I remember when RJ Barrett said, they asked RJ what his goal was, and he was like, yo, I'm going to be a 20-point scorer in this league. RJ at 19, when they asked him that, he was like, I want to be a 20-point scorer in the league. I believe I can do it. That was RJ's answer, right? When you ask RJ Barrett today what he wants to do, RJ Barrett is saying win a championship, right? And so the thing is that the 19-year-old RJ that just wanted to score 20 points a game in the league, right? He went to this thing, he met second year, went to the playoffs, and got this high leverage thing going. And all of a sudden in their mind, it clicks. There's an NBA maturity that happened, not a normal maturity, right? There's like a thing. So what do you think about that, Coach?
What part?
The Mo Diawara Pakam Dadier.
I think they should be used more, to be honest, especially at this stage. I kind of know why they're not, because unfortunately, with the Mitch minutes restriction and the OG injury and the Shamet injury and Deuce missing a couple games and Brunson missing a couple games earlier, we haven't gotten the run and the chemistry at this point that maybe Mike Brown was hoping to get if those things didn't happen. You know what I mean? Weren't happening. But I think they're getting to that point where everyone's kind of coming back around. He's figuring out the rotations, blah, blah, blah. And to me, I feel like every game he's trying to sneak Mo Diawara in there mid-game a few times. And just the flow of the games, and sometimes he hasn't stayed in long enough for my personal taste. But to your guys' point, I don't, and I've said this a bunch of times, like, you can't judge any of these young players' value or how good or bad they are based on the kind of minute. Like, you put them in with the other scrubs, they ain't gonna. You want to see how they look with the other starters. You want to see how they look with the other rotation players, because that's when we need them. We don't need him when he's playing with all the other backups and guys that don't play. They're obviously not going to have the same kind of value in those situations. Like the end of the game, game's over minutes, crap, you know.
Right.
That's no moment to judge a player's qualities, you know. So I'd like to see, but in the other hand, how many contending teams are shoving rookies and second-year players in the rotation that weren't lottery picks? I mean, I don't know. Like that, there aren't many, if any. So it's a good problem that we have. Like this year, the reason they're not playing as much is because our roster's better. If we didn't get Clarkson and Yabusele, and I know Yabusele's not playing ever, I think he's doing better, personally.
Agreed.
He's gotten very inconsistent minutes too. But hey, you got those two guys, man. But I agree, we have so much offense, we can get away with D2 defensive specialists and not have to worry about them scoring at all. We just need you to be big and athletic and hustle.
Right.
You know, stick on your guy. So, my personal liking, and it's not like, oh, it's Mike Brown's fault. I think he does. If any coach in the league has shown he's willing to do that kind of stuff, it's been him. He does it. He's done it on other teams. But he hasn't had a top 8, 9, 10 player roster like this ever that he's coached. Sure, he's had LeBron, but there's a drop off from player 3 through 7 on those teams.
Right.
He's never had a team like this to coach. So he's learning us too. Just like they're learning him. You know, you know, all these other coaches not named Steve Kerr or Spoelstra. You know, we never heard of any of these other coaches that have won championships these last few years. The Milwaukee's coach, you know, Nick Nurse and all these guys, they weren't known as these amazing coaches until they won a championship. Then their name gets brought up. Some of them guys only have jobs that won the championship, or they're in a job now that's worse. You know, Mike Budinger, and some of these guys that have won championships don't even coach the same team.
Right.
Look at the coach from Denver. I mean, so we're real quick to point fingers at coaches and this and that.
Who's we? I'm like pointing the finger at the coach. Like, what do you mean?
Just if someone's not playing. When I say we, I just we as a fan base in general. I'm not saying we on this panel.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, because the point that I'm making is if they prove that they're switchable, which means they have to prove to the coaching staff, not the coaching staff show them the way, right? Because 90% of the work is on them kids, right? 90% of the work is on them kids. They have to earn their right. In my mind, they have to earn their right into that position, or we have to find somebody else. In my mind,
yeah, they ain't gonna be given nothing. Yeah,
right,
and that's fine. I like that, you know. But I don't. Like I said, if I said it's at the beginning of the year, if we're counting on Diawara and Dadier to be in the rotation, then we're not. That's a slight on what we built so far.
Okay.
Unless they were on your to boost what you were saying, unless they showed so well that they made it. I can't not play these kids. They're too good at
Right.
this particular thing. Yeah.
That was the thing I was getting to when I initially posed it to you and Tori B. Not that Mike Brown owes these guys anything, because Mike Brown doesn't owe these guys anything. The only thing Mike Brown owes to anyone is a championship to the fan base. Right?
Yeah.
And so he's going to work every day tirelessly to fulfill his end of the bargain. Right? Now, if we're talking about, like, you know, we owe Hakeem Dadier something because he's a first round pick, we don't owe him nothing. He's got to work his way onto the floor. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make yourself like irreplaceable. You know?
Right.
Because every spot on this roster, I mean, this is the most exclusive club in all of sports. There's only 14, 15 spots on these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't like a football 53 guys on a roster, or baseball 26 or 28, whatever it is. I mean, that 12th, 13th guy, you got to have a role too, because you're one or two banged up guys and foul trouble away from being needed.
Yeah.
And you can't have guys like Charlie Brown and
Oh my God. I'm about to jump. I'll be right back. I'm about to jump out the window. I'll be right back.
friggin' Dwayne Washington.
And Daquan Jeffries.
You know,
oh my God, bro.
Can't have guys like that waiting in the wings.
Right. Right. I remember Tibbs looked down there at Charlie Brown Jr. with that dumbass workers' comp cast on his wrist, and you could just see this look. We out here with Hartenstein with two totally destroyed shoulders, and that man can't even take a break because there's a guy that never plays down there with that damn workers' comp cast on. Right? Why is he even here, bro? Like
that carpal tunnel, bringing hand brace.
Yeah. And you notice, Coach? Did you notice after that season was over, the Knicks made like 5 draft picks or something?
That's great, yeah, man.
Oh my! Yeah, after that season was over, they drafted like a bunch of dudes to get them clowns off the bench, bro. But,
yeah, I agree that. I mean, here's the thing: we the other thing Mike Brown owes us is one of the reasons why we were mad at the other guy. You know, he owes us to get the most out of this roster possible and be able to use these players in a way that best suits the team. And we saw last year a lot of our players be put in positions, figuratively and literally, that doesn't best suit their talents. That's why it's unfortunate that Ariel Huckporty hasn't taken that step like maybe we hoped he would. Because now Yabusele, even though he did it in spot time because Embiid was out, he's best suited in the jumbo wing, you know, a 4 that can also spread the court and shoot a 3 if he's open.
Right. Okay.
You know, and if we're having to use him as a 5, that's not what best suits Gershon Yabusele. It's not, just like it didn't suit Precious Achua. It's not fair to them.
I still like Precious though, man.
Me too.
I still like Precious though.
I do. I think Precious would be awesome in this system.
He would thrive in this system. I miss.
He
Precious.
would big time. I agree 100%. And you know, that's why, you know, along with Mitch, I think another big guy would help. So,
right. Okay.
That's something. I don't know what they got brewing, but we'll see.
Okay.
And yeah, like, I really think if this is, I mean, we can't expect Deuce to shoot like this all season, obviously. But
what if he just shoots 43%?
Yeah, if this is,
he's shooting 46%, right, or 50%? What he shooting?
Yeah, I think.
I mean, he's been shooting over the last 7 games or 6 games like 65%, something crazy.
Right.
Like on a different planet.
So hey, so okay. So just asking, what does the Deuce thing have to do? Like include? I just want to follow the Deuce thing. Like where's the?
So right now we're getting the production from Deuce, like the instant offense off the bench that we were hoping he was going to do. Like, this is something we were all kind of excited from Deuce. A lot of people are trying to say, "Oh, he could be the backup point guard, or he can do this. He can."
But it took Deuce 4 full seasons to get here. Are we saying that's going to take Mo Diawara and Pakam Dadier 4 full seasons to get here?
It might.
It might. I don't think it'll take. I don't think when Deuce got here, the New York Knicks were in a lot different position as far as expectations and reality, talent wise. So even though as a fan base, obviously we weren't patient for that to come to fruition, but it was less pressing for Deuce to turn into something back then as it is, for right now. We really don't need them to turn into all world defenders and be used right away, but it'd be awesome, but it's not going to keep us from winning at all, if you ask me.
Right. So East Blue Drew says to the point. This is the point that I was getting at. The Tibbs, it took this dude 4 full seasons, and it didn't click under that guy. It didn't click under Tibbs. It clicked under Mike Brown. In my opinion, I think if Mike Brown had Deuce from the beginning, Deuce, Quickly, RJ, all of them boys would have clicked faster.
Yeah.
Right. But they would have clicked faster because Mike Brown lets guys be athletic and have I'm not going to say carte blanche, but allows guys to be the natural version of themselves.
Right.
Right.
It's almost like Tibbs, like they once he saw Deuce not making a lot of threes at practice, but he was athletic and strong enough to play good defense, he automatically pigeonholed him into that guy and didn't fluff up the 3-point side of his game. That's something I think, like you said, Mike Brown and his staff would have, pushed for him to work on more often.
The Tibbs thing, and y'all, I'm not kicking Tom Thibodeau's back in. He's an excellent NBA coach. He brought the Knicks from purgatory to respectability, right? Now, does that still make me mad? Yes, I do respect him though, right? The thing is with Deuce and with all the other young guys, Tom Thibodeau coached every game as if it were a game 7 with 6 minutes remaining, right? So if you take a 3 and miss, he was going to sit you like, why'd you take that shot? or some nights you'll take a shot and miss, and he'll just sit you. You just won't play for the rest of the game, and he won't talk to you for like 10 days, right? With this, I think this is more accommodating to growth. So the Mo Diawara Pakam Dadier thing, I don't believe. So first, let me say this. I don't think Mike Brown likes Kev McCullough. I don't think Mike Brown likes Ariel Hookporting, right? If he had liked Kev McCullough, you would have seen Kev McCullough within these first 20 games. Not even in a game, but at least on the bench. Like you haven't even seen Kev McCullough on the bench yet. No. Right? Kev McCullough is a Tom Thibodeau pick, right? The thing is with Dadier and with Diawara is these guys are talented NBA players with potential, right? But when you're a new coach, you have to establish so many things. You have to the reason why I think you don't see Diawara and Dadier is because he's still trying to define a role for Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, and Cat. Right? You remember those guys at the beginning of the season was like, hey, I don't even know what I'm doing out here. Right? Like, remember Josh Hart was like, I don't even know what my role is. Right? Remember Josh was saying all these things at the beginning of the season. So if you're Mike Brown, do you prioritize Mo Diawara, Pakam Dadier, or do you prioritize Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart? Of course, the answer is too easy. The answer is too easy for you. I shouldn't even have to ask. The reason why those young guys are not playing is because you got to get this veteran team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year to be comfortable in the new system that you just installed.
Right.
And if Mo Diawara don't play this year, it don't matter because he was a rookie anyway. Right? Am I going to take attention away from Deuce's development, Josh Hart, Cat, OG, Bridges, Brunson, and give it to this kid? No, we're not trying to be in the lottery next year. We're trying to win a championship this year. And for that reason why I think you'll see those guys slowly be incorporated. It's like seasoning. You already got the meal basically prepped. Now with Diawara and Dadier, you're just seasoning to taste. Basically, you're just seasoning to taste. You already have the main ingredients of everything. You just, hey man, these fringe minutes right here where we may need some defense. Do I go all in with Shamet? Do I let Shamet lead a unit and put Dadier and Diawara on it? And then I'm talking about like a 2 or 3 minute stretch, everybody. I'm not talking about lead the second unit. I'm just talking about stretches. Do you try that, or do you try to incorporate what Landry Shamet does into your rotation? And he chose Landry Shamet. Y'all saw, I think Landry Shamet, one game, Landry Shamet had like 40 points. Tori B, you remember the game? Landry Shamet had like 40 points or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think. I think coming into it, we all didn't know this. And I didn't think Mike Brown did either. I don't think that he expected or knew that Landry Shamet was going to play himself into this rotation.
Right.
It surprised him for the good. It surprised us for the good. Like, because we got a good, it's like when you, I don't want to say dumpster diving, but you're looking for some.
Basically.
And you find like man, this is a Mickey Mantle second year card in the garbage. What is this?
Wow. Yeah.
Like I didn't, it's like you didn't expect that. Nah, but like I think because Shamet stepped up the way he did. I mean, we as a fan base, and we were having the discussions here on the show, Gary Matthews or Landry Shamet or Brogdon. We weren't all sold yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you see Shamet being a little scrappy on D, and he started making some threes. Looked like he belonged with some of the group.
Looked like he belonged.
And then, so what that did was he leapfrogged some guys, including them two youngins.
And a certain guy retired.
Yeah.
Shamming out here retiring, dudes.
Yeah. Shamming out here retiring mugs.
You're not going to take my little NBA check.
And, he's a grown vet, man. He's been in. Landry Shamet's played in some playoffs.
Yeah.
He's scored double figures in this league. Yeah. He's got pride.
Landry Shamet was in that Kevin Knox draft. I'm just saying.
Right.
So
like that's something I think, and we've mentioned a few times before he got hurt. We had to give props to Mike Brown for. We were like, "What's he doing playing him?"
Right.
He was the first guy. He was off the bench before Deuce.
Yeah, remember? Yeah,
a bunch of games, and he started a game or two. I'm like, "What the heck's going on here?
What's going on out here?"
I don't know. All of a sudden, it looked good. So
we was like, "What the hell?"
And I mean, it turned out good though. I mean, Sham just playing well for us.
Yeah,
we got
So that wound up knocking down Diawara and Dottie, like the need for them to step up sooner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, if Landry Shem was 6'6", 6'7", that'd be amazing.
That would have been amazing, bro.
That's why we're always, and I know a lot of this talk, it's a disrespect to, or I guess not appreciating what we have. Like if Josh Hart was 6'6", 6'7", we wouldn't be having this conversation about Donnie and you know what I mean? It's like we have all these undersized overachievers.
Well, the thing is, if to your point, Coach, if both of those guys were 3 inches taller than they were, I think we wouldn't be having the Mo Diawara conversation. We'd be having the Dink Pate conversation, right? Because there'd be a need in a different area. So to your point, if that need was taken care of, then we'd be speaking to a need in a different area. Maybe we'd be having the James Najee conversation, right? Or the Dink Pate conversation, or the Kev McCullough conversation, because shoring up one need means you can focus on another need that may not be as severe, but still needs to be addressed.
Right. So, yeah, man. I mean,
all right. So let me say this. I got to wrap up here. Because we're going to do the Knicks play at 12, right? So the Knicks, I think the Knicks have a very early
I would
game.
like to fight whoever made this schedule. I just want to put that out there. Why they playing
It's Kids Day, Turkey. It's Kids Day. Remember, this is the Kids Day every year.
It could have still been at 3:00.
Bro, I gotta work. I gotta work tonight, and I ain't even slept yet.
Wow. Well, so we'll wrap.
Games in 45 minutes.
This is what I'm telling you, right? This is what I'm saying. Man, I gotta go get me some breakfast, man. Like, and get ready for the game. Get ready to start complaining. But thank you everybody for coming through, rocking with us. So now that the weird part of my personal schedule is out of the way, I'm working with the guys and gals behind the scenes so that we can be more consistent. So even if I'm not available, the show can still rock on, right? Thank y'all for coming through. Rockin', Tori B, thank you for jumping on last minute. I appreciate it. Coach, thank you for jumping on last minute, man. Appreciate it. The Knicks play at 12. We're hoping that the Knicks can somehow solve these Orlando Magic. And if not, man, it's still decent. So thank y'all, everybody.
Hocus pocus.
Yeah.
Hey,
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken languages, spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the